All right, so now I want to see the other side or a view of the great room from the other direction. Put a camera in there, but the stairs were in the way, so I had to hide the stairs. I just want to see what's going on. And I can see that I got a couple issues here. That same bond area, I haven't cleaned that up. So I'm going to clean that up. And then I think I'll put a TV here and put a picture in that TV first of all. And then make sure that the lights are turned on. And then render this one too. So let's go to the first floor plan. I have a section through that wall, so I can go look at that section, go to the view, and it's right here where I can see that I need to put some gypsum board in. So this must be the top of the wall. Okay, so architecture, component, model in place. This is a wall family, so we'll put that in on the walls. Say okay, and I want to do an extrusion. Revit's going to say, all right, we'll pick a plane. Because Revit doesn't know what the plane is. It does in a floor plan, but not in a section. So let's hit tab, 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 tab. That's not working for me. So let's go tab, tab. There we go. There's a plane. So that's the beginning of my extrusion, and it extends 3 feet in both directions. 3 feet in front of that plane and 3 feet behind it. What's the material? Gypsum wallboard is good. So we can say okay to that. We can say okay to that. We can go take a look at that section. Let's flip it. Let's go to that view. And I just put this in. So 3 feet in front of and 3 feet behind that plane is my gypsum board. Let's put that in right there. Let's go back and take a look at that 3D view. Yeah, okay. Now I do have my gypsum board in there. I can see that I need to do that over here as well, but I don't want to be, there's all kinds of things that we can be dealing with. So let's do that. All right. So now let's put a TV on this wall. First of all, let's save it. Then I want to put a television on this wall. So architecture component, flat screen TV. It's wall based, so I can just click here and it's hosted by the wall is what that means. All right, let's go back to the first floor. And I want to look in the other direction so we can flip that section. The depth of field is far enough from my section cut that I'll be able to see that. So let's go to that view. And it should really be centered on the fireplace. So a line, let's find the center line of the fireplace, and we'll find the center line of that. And let's see if there's other sizes available already. That's 55. We can go to 65. Looks a little bit better, but might be way too high. So let's put it down to there. Now, let's put a decal inside of here. I'm going to pause it for a second because I have a new computer. I'm not sure where all of the images are yet. So let's just pause. All right. I just didn't want you to have to watch me search around on my computer to find out where an image is. So what I did was let's just say okay to that. Okay. Now let's go insert decal, place a decal. Yep. Okay, decal types, and then I create a new detail. Just leave it in the default name. Okay, and now I just simply look for where my images are. And I pick this image right here, which is the some kind of a newscast. So I'll use that. And we'll cancel out of that because we have the new decal in there. Okay, so now insert, place a decal, and I'm going to place it right here. All right, now I can see the outline of the decal, but I can't actually see it because of the presentation. So I'm going to go to, let's see if the consistent colors will not do it, but realistic will. So we'll say realistic. And now I can see my image. And you can see that it is only showing that image inside of the frame of the window of the television, which is kind of good. All right, this we don't want, so I'm going to delete that. Looks like I have another one in there. Okay, escape. I just want to pick this guy, and then I'm going to just drag him over. It didn't let me do that. All right, I want to pick this guy. Now I just want to drag him over. You can see that the image isn't big enough yet. So let's change the width of the image to, we'll say 4 foot, whatever that is. And still not big enough, so let's change it to 5. And it's keeping the aspect ratio. It's changing the height automatically. Okay, now I'll just use the keyboard arrows to kind of get this in place. Just wanted to look like there's something happening on the TV screen. I think that does it. Okay, let's go back to, I think that's it. This is it. ZE, just to see what the extents are. This is nothing I can do about it. If I want to see all of this, I have to see what's there too. Although I can pull it down a little bit, can't I? Let's pull it down to there. ZE, zoom back to the extents. I'm not worried about it. You can actually see that there's still the topography inside of the basement. We haven't put our building pad in, so we haven't cut out the topography inside of the basement, but I think we're in good shape right now. Let's view, render. I want to make sure that we've selected the scheme is going to be interior, sun, and artificial. Okay. Yep. And then we'll go render it in the cloud. Final, maximum, render. Now, if there's a material missing, Revit will tell me that right now, but there wasn't one. All right, now we can see the view of the great room from the other direction. That is cleaned up. It's a solid wall. This is a little bit of a fancy ceiling, a lot of lights in there, a lot of down lights. There are TVs above the fireplace. So the last thing I wanted to do was have this long, what is it? Axis here doesn't really end anything great, but I thought let's put in a barrel ceiling there. So let's do that. So I want to, first of all, I got a lot of things open. I'm just going to close all the inactives. That's the television tab, so we don't need that, so we can close that down. Okay. So let's go to this view right here. Direction is it looking? I like to look to the back of the house. That's just a personal preference. So right now it's to the front, so I flipped it to the back. And then we can do the depth of field all the way so that I can see the wall in the background. Go to that view. And here it is. So we could do a full barrel vault, give it even more volume, or we could do a relief, a slightly relieved arc. So let's go to annotate, detail line, and we're going to draw a start end radius. So we're going to start our line right here. We're going to end the description of that arc, and then that looks fine. Okay. So that's not getting too much volume there, but it is giving a nice ceiling. All right, let's do that. So architecture component, model in place. I'm going to do an extrusion ceiling. Okay. And let's pick our plane again. Let's see if we can pick this plane in the background there. That would be nice, but it's not necessary. Let's just see what happens. Tab, tab, tab. No, that's not being cooperative. We'll pick that plane. Oops. Thought we would, but we didn't. So we're still going to draw an extrusion, pick a plane, and just trying to grab this. Let's see if that'll grab. Nope. All right. So I did get, seemed like I was getting, there we go. All right, that's the plane. That's our starting plane. So I'm going to pick this guy, and then I'm going to pick him again. But this time I'm going to offset 5/8 of an inch, because that'll be the thickness of the gypsum board. Make sure that it goes above it. And then I need to have a closed entity here. So I'm going to draw a line that has no offset. So change that back to 0. And then come across here like that. Straight up. There's my gypsum board on that side. As a closed entity, I'm going to close it on this side. Just straight up. There it is, gypsum board. Yes, it is. Done material wise. So we'll say okay. We'll say okay. Let's take this section, drag it through, and say go to view. We should be able to see that barrel now, which is right here. Now we can drag it all the way to the front door, which would be this wall. So right now, I think I'll have to change that wall because the lower wall has brick in it and we want it to be continuous. So I'll have to change that. But for now, okay. Then let's pull this guy back. Going forward just a little bit. Won't look any different. I think it should go. It won't look any different in the rendering. Go back to the first floor. And this is our first floor. We'll put the camera in there. We'll put that camera right here. Just to see what it looks like when you walk in the front door. What do you want to see? What are you going to see? And yeah, we're on the second floor. So no, we're not. We're on the first floor. Not sure why I did that, but that's okay. This. We need to clean that gap up too. All right. And we're going to need to change this profile. All right, so let's go back to the first floor. We have a section that cuts right through that area, so we'll go to that section. And that section is right there. Architecture, component, model in place. That is a wall that we're going to put in, so we'll put it in the wall family. It is an extrusion, so it's going to ask us to pick a plane. Let's see if we can pick. We had trouble picking a plane before. But let's see what happens here. I'm going to just hover there and hit the tab key. Got a plane. Okay, so there's my starting point. And all I want to do is just put that gypsum board in as a rectangle from where to where? Well, starts here, and I think it'll go up to there. Let's align it. Maybe a little bit. There we go. It's the right material. Say okay. And then we'll go look at it in sections. So I have to flip this section. The depth of view is far enough that I'll be able to see that piece of gypsum board in the background. There it is, right in. So that this all the way over to there for now. I'm not sure. I think this is going to go all the way to the stairs because there's a floor there. Let's go back and look at that view now. That looks good. We need to change the profile of this wall. This should go up to there. So go back to the first floor, looking for the section that will show us that view, which is definitely, this will show it because the depth of field is far enough. Go ahead and do it. And I just want to grab this wall, right, edit the profile, pick a line, which is I want to pick this line. There we go. And that wall's coming across. Now we'll just put these two right here. Oops. I don't know what I did. All right. So now I'm confused because I should be able to fill it that. All right. So it's a little weird right there. So here's what I want to do is I'm going to grab this line and I'm going to isolate that category. So all I can see are the magenta lines. Why is it going all the way over to there? I don't know. We use the trim extend again. I guess there's just two, there's more lines there. That should do it. Let's see if it does. Nope. Still has a problem here with something. Let's just delete it. Yeah, see that there's more lines there. I don't know why all those lines appeared, but I'll bet you it's because of something I did, not something that Revit did. Okay. So because those magenta lines disappeared, that means that it worked. So let's just go to consistent colors here real quickly. See, that's what I was trying to do, is make that wall do that. Go back to our 3D view. Let's change it to consistent colors again. Yeah. So I want to see if I extend this wall, it does nothing. But I could extend this view. So you can see a little bit more. I'm actually grabbing the arch there. So let's see if I can get to the top of it. So, yes. Okay. That's ZE. Looks good. And got something going on there, but that's another ceiling that we have to put in. I'm going to hit the save button. There's no lighting here, so this will be dark. You're not going to be able to see that in the rendering. I will render it anyway. And you'll have a hard time seeing it until I throw some lights in, which we'll do in the next video tutorial, which will throw some kind of lighting in there so we can see it. Because right now the only light we have is coming from the windows and from these lights right here, which is not going to light that ceiling. And there's the rendering. You can sort of see, because there's a little bit of light bleeding from the sky over here, you can sort of see the barrel vault. The next tutorial, I'll do some more lighting up there. See if we can get something, but you can see that this is not for presentation purposes to show to the client yet, but I am definitely getting in that direction, but I'm using this more for my own purpose to see what I like, what works and what doesn't. And I see I have a really nice big solid wall here, so I'll put some pretty big pieces of artwork on that wall. And maybe some artwork here on the back wall of the stairwell as well. But anyway, that's the adding the barrel, a relaxed curve ceiling in the foyer.